Man, I love that song. Welcome back to HGC Europe. Game number 3 coming up between Synergy and Dignitas. My name is Trixler, and always I'm joined by Keleris. Keleris, going into game number 3, you kept talking about it. Does Zeratul get banned out?
I feel it has to.
Yeah.
I feel that that's probably where Team Synergy needs to focus some of their attention. It's causing too many problems. I feel it's the best choice for Xaylia, given the current state of Team Dignitas. You give him that tool. He is a playmaker. Xaylia on Zeratul is a playmaker. So take that away from them. See how Team Dignitas would fare without that, and without that team cohesion.
Dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, and see where you go from there, I feel.
I think I agree with you. First off, they're getting fantastic engages. They're getting their wombo combos. For the most part, I feel like Synergy handled the combos very well, but what they're missing out on is the pickoff potential. Zeratul in that game alone, we didn't catch all the pickoffs, but I think he got 4 kills by himself by picking off members that would run away from the fight. Take away that dynamic, and now it's just pure team fight, which Synergy seems to be doing relatively well. So go ahead real quick.
It feels like they're trying to deal with the wombos in different ways, like the Anub'arak trying to get in there, trying to stop the second part of the wombo. Cut it off at the head. Get rid of the Void Prism.
It's aggressive.
Just make sure you don't have to even deal with the Void Prism, as well as all the apprehensive feelings you're feeling about. It's like, where's Zeratul? Where is he? Do we go that far? Where's Team Synergy? We should be the ones that are being aggressive, but Zeratul is always lurking in the back of our minds and in the shadows.
And in StarCraft. All right, guys, Battleground time. Where are we going for game number 3? Remember, Warhead Junction is not available. Neither is Infernal Shrines. We've already played on the wonderful Cursed Hollow, and we just finished up on Towers of Doom. Now, the Battleground that we will be going to will, in fact, be
Battlefield?
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Oh, they picked. Oh, okay. So first pick over towards Team Synergy. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. I think if it would have been Team Synergy wanting to pick the Battleground, I don't think we would have gone to Tomb of the Spider Queen. But because it's Dignitas, they're like, oh yes, bring it on. That's fine.
The problem with going first pick, I feel like for Synergy, is they're banning out Tassadar because they don't want to deal with it already. But Dignitas has already shown we're willing to take Zeratul as our first pick in the combo.
Yeah.
So does Synergy take away the Zeratul, or are they not going the actual strategy of getting rid of that combo?
I think the bans has to be Zeratul #1 for Team Synergy if they want to try and take away some of the fuel that's currently powering Team Dignitas. And then on the other side, probably the Tassadar.
And then they go from there. All right. Here we go. Tomb of the Spider Queen. What is Synergy's choice for their ban? We will find out right meow. Here we go.
Unless they wanted to pick up Zeratul first pick themselves, but I don't think that would be the go-to here for them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They elect to go ahead and potentially take out Arthas here as their first pick. So they leave Dignitas. If they do go with this ban, theoretically, they make Dignitas choose between banning out the Tassadar.
Please don't do
or
that.
Ragnaros, or if Zeratul for some reason, if they wanted to go that route. They are also hovering Leoric.
Okay.
All right, Synergy. What will you be getting? This is all now in Dignitas' hands. What do they not want to play against? TAS is gone. 100% pick ban rate continues here in the HGC.
In Europe, in this iteration of the game, he is a monster.
Yeah.
And likewise, so is Ragnaros, but Tassadar is that actually nobody's going to die ever, and we have vision, and we have wave clear, and he's the perfect hero for them.
The ETC pickup, we've seen JPL on this character time and time again, but on Tomb of the Spider Queen, he even lights up even more. He gets those rotations. There is the Tychus pickup as well here for Dignitas.
All right, so technically with those two pickups, they're less inclined or likely to go towards a big wombo combo, but it can still come along. You can still have healer, Zeratul, Jaina, healer, Zeratul, and something else. I mean, even Zeratul as a lone component is fine. Malfurion, so, all right.
To be fair, Dignitas may be thinking maybe they don't go down the Zeratul route. Just Tomb of the Spider Queen being picked here makes it a little bit harder for him to run all the combinations. He loses out on a lot of the room to play around. And maybe Dignitas just banking on that. All right, well, we're done playing around with Zeratul here. Let's play this comp in game number 3. We have such a large lead.
I like the pickup of Tychus early, though, for Team Dignitas, because they've noticed in the previous 2 games, it's been heavier to double warrior compositions. We had, was it Muradin and Artanis, and then we had Muradin and Anub'arak. Tychus here in the hands of Snitch could quite easily just kind of chew through those front lines if we're to go it again.
We'll get the mix-up of Volley here for Synergy. Which makes me lead to maybe we go for another Medivh pick. Synergy has ran it in the past. They already have a strong solo healer here with Malfurion. Usually when you see Valla nowadays, it's not just to have an assassin. You're usually trying to empower in some way or some form.
I think, yeah, either a Medivh ban or maybe even a Zarya ban. I think that could be something that they could think about down the line. It's very strong, if you're going the Destruction something at level 1, where, you're gaining lesser cooldown on the particle grenades, then it's great for interrupting, etc.
Yeah.
But
yep, there it is. So there's a Zarya ban.
That feels good.
So Synergy now has to wonder what they want to ban out. Do they go for the support route and try to get into Bakery's deep pockets of other supports? Get rid of maybe the Rhaegar here. Suddenly Ariel and Kharazim, which is an old Bakery favorite, could be the route that we go for. Brewing on this battleground has a bit of a harder time overall. First off, our global presence gets negated. And then also, depending on the comp that you're going for, the sustained healing might not be what you want. So Synergy could go that route and just move out the Rhaegar.
All right. Yeah, I think I would like to see the Rhaegar.
Yeah, they're thinking on it.
Yeah. It's had a great rate mate so far in HGC Europe, and then you force Bakery onto something a bit more weird. I think it would almost have to be the Brightwing, but it doesn't quite work that well on this. I mean, it's fine, but,
Okay, there it is. I was wondering if they were thinking about another tank ban. But the problem is they haven't quite got the tank that they want, and they've been enjoying having the Muradin choice available. Because if you go the route of banning out, you ban out Muradin, and then Johanna becomes the next pickup on this battleground, and then they have no tanks to deal with. So I was wondering if that's what they're arguing over.
Yep.
What ban makes the most sense here for us to have a decent 4th and 5th pick? And I think Rhaegar was the obvious choice to get rid of.
Yeah, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. The Johanna on this map, it just becomes... It's just more of a thing. It's the best way to describe it.
She suddenly can flank. She has the wave clear. She has stop potential. If a Ragnaros is moving in for a Q, you suddenly go for a condemn or even a Blessed Shield and set up. It's too hard to get rid of if you don't leave Muradin up. But now Dignitas is suddenly maybe wrestling with the idea of, do we want to go double tank?
Well, that's the good thing about actually having a Tychus in your first rotation against your opponents. You can go for the double tank setup, and they will do with ease, basically. You alleviate having to ban out Tychus yourself, and then you pick up 2 key warriors that you want to use. And this was an old mantra from Europe many, many months ago. Get that Tychus, get yourself a strong double warrior, and then you're in good stead.
Yeah, you're just going from there. Now, I'm wondering about the Medivh pick. Was this something more of a counter to prevent Synergy from getting their double empowerment, where they get the Valla all nice and juiced up? Because... honestly, when it comes to Snitch's Medivh, I felt like last week I was not so impressed with it. Just because I didn't feel like he got very many Q damages in. He feels like a Glaurung type of Medivh, which I guess Snitch has been playing it longer, where he's mostly here for the vision and for the portals, so he's more of a Snitch Medivh.
Right.
But still, I would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive in fights and work in those Qs, man. He didn't seem to do them that very often. In fact, last week, I don't think he got it done until the 25-minute mark in one of his matches.
That's actually a really good point that you bring up, because normally when I look at Team Dignitas, I think, 4 months back I see, Rexxar.
Ooh la la.
Let me point this out. Hydra since patch has been loving Rexxar, but obviously this is old Rexxar. This isn't not the new Rexxar. So Hydra's been practicing him a lot, but it's very different how it is now to previous.
Yeah, the mechanics change aggressively. Also, he becomes much more tankier. I will say Rexxar can be strong against Tychus, although he burns their Misha relatively quickly. It's Misha. Like, you can sacrifice that Baron. You can actually leave it on the back line, and if there's a double front line, the front line has to come help with it.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, it's like, well, how do you know he's been practicing so much Rexxar? And I'm like, no, this is no insider caster tip or anything. This is me looking at his Twitter and seeing him photoshopping Rexxar's face on his face. That's how I know. So...
literally going face.
Yes. Go face with Rexxar. It's all about that cross-synergy, cross-pollination in the HGC Europe.
Okay, and Brightwing will be the final choice for Team Dignitas. So they're heavily relying upon their Tychus and their Medivh, it looks like here, for those kills. Brightwing again helping out in the fights overall and can sustain through the Misha damage, but this should be a fun matchup to go into in game number 3 here. We got a Rexxar facing off against a Medivh. You don't yell that off very often.
Yeah, I said halfway through that draft, like, I don't like the Brightwing as much, but with Medivh it makes sense. We've seen that synergy come along from synergy in game 1, but here for Dignitas, I think it could be strong. I was going to say that 4 months ago, Tychus, Medivh, Arthas, that's, well, we've just seen Snitch play on Arthas. Medivh used to be the thing that Snitch played on. Tychus used to be the thing that Snitch played on. So I guess he's on the Medivh this game.
I'm assuming so too.
And giving the Tychus to Mene and then the Arthas to Xaylia, unless Xaylia now does the... whatever.
Those hero pools messing us up. I will say we do have a crazy combination between Condemn, that pulls in multiple members, and the Rexxar engaged with the Bear, the multiple stun.
The Misha Bear?
Yeah, so they actually have the potential here to condemn 4 members in. Rexxar goes in with the Misha charge, and here comes a big hammer of Ragnaros, Alfira Smash, to destroy multiple members. They have some blow-up comp, but they also have decent sustain. First off, Johanna can live for a while. Rexxar with the correct build. Suddenly Misha is a pain in the back on that, or pain in the rear on the back line.
Yeah.
And then you have Vala the entire time just working on auto attacks. They actually have a very well thought out composition. It all comes down to control and how they get the isolation.
Yeah, it gets to the point, as you said, where because Rexxar came so late in the draft, they don't have that much to get on towards the back of it unless everyone goes through a portal and it's like, get the pet, get Rexxar. So it's a little bit difficult. But I still give sway to Team Dignitas because of how consistent they have looked throughout these last 2 games towards the later stages of the games. And from the Tychus pick, from pick 2 onwards, I think they knew exactly what kind of composition they wanted. So
yeah, it looks like it. They've got it all powered out.
Yeah.
Well, game 3 is ready to go. Let's go to Tuma Spider Queen here. Synergy taking on Team Dignitas. 2-0 lead here for Dignitas. Here we go, my friend. Game number 3. Tomb the Spider Queen here on the left will be Synergy. For our team, we have Power, Sepka, Neon, Hydra, and Sir Ice Cream himself donning the Ragnaros. The Master Skin, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Of course. Loving it, loving it. Really excited to see how Hydra's going to play this Rexxar. As I say, I know, well, everyone should know, following his Twitter, that he's been playing it a lot. And then over there on the right-hand side, Bakery on Brightwing. We're going to have JPL on ETC following that up. It's Mene on Tychus, as kind of thought here, considering it. And then Snitch will be on that Medivh. And finally, Xaylia on Arthur. So the composition rounds out kind of in how we expected it. Who's going to be playing what. Just delaying things towards the mid. And I think this is a pretty good setup for them. Yeah.
And it looks like Arthas might be going for the damage build, if I'm reading that telling correctly. Going to go ahead and stack up his Frostmourne Hungers and go from there. So JPL and crew immediately the fight in the beginning. There goes the portal here. There's the Johanna. Bring it in the Condemn. The Bear moves in. Power slide into the root, though. JPL taking some damage.
Yeah. And you know what? This is really cool for me to see that Hydra is willing to go with the old Rexxar, because it means that weeks down the line, he thinks that the new Rexxar's OP, so we'll see maybe even more Rexxar from him in the future.
Oh, Glarus, you are getting me so excited. Misha and her pet will be in the rounds for a while here.
Yeah.
JPL continuing the aggression. Here goes that 4-man rotation. Now in the bottom lane, we do have Arthas facing off against Rexxar, which will be quite a fun thing for Arthas to deal with, but it makes sense to grab that talent also because you get those 3 stacks on top of Misha here when you work in those Ds.
Yep.
Oh, whoa, the portal engage.
Don't touch our Rexxar. That's funny how they tried to just gank for Misha, not for Rexxar. Did you notice that? It's like, actually, whatever Rexxar, it's fine as long as we get the bear.
As long as we take out the pesky bear that is continuing to break down our Arthas over here, the Lich King. Pretty funny how that all works out. Bakery continuing soaking in the top right. As honestly, the rotation is relatively strong here for Synergy in the early game. Johanna just brings that much power in terms of wave clear, especially when you got Vala to follow up, especially if he moves into the multi-shot build. You can just keep up with the momentum in the mid and top lane.
One day we're going to get a Ret Paladin in this game, and it's going to be Tyrion Fordring, and he is going to go one-on-one against Arthas, and that's when I lore Nerdgasm. That's going to be the best.
Looking forward to that moment, my friend. It will definitely be a lot of fun. JPL gets the power slide, power moves up, and this is just the name of the game for 2-minute Spider Queen between top and middle lane. You just keep clearing, and the objective is to get your experience up, but also to drain the turret ammo, so you eventually get to a point that you can take out a turret, and that will award you experience, which opens up the mid-game for your web weavers. And already, Synergy does take out a turret here from Bakery. JPL goes in. The immediate root is one of my favorite soft counters in the game. If you see a portal, drop the root and get away.
Already, I feel that the way Team Dignitas is playing this Medivh, it bodes well for the rest of the game, because I feel that they're going to need to have these really aggressive portal plays to get towards the backline, to get towards the things like Rexxar, etc., to then have a good showing towards this kind of composition that we're seeing. So the front line will be sturdy, and looking on towards Neon here, trying to get it, portals up, trying to get him. Will Snitch do it? Yes, he will. That is going to be first blood going over towards Team Dignitas.
There it goes, and we saw why they're doing the aggressive portals. They're jumping on the back line, and Johanna naturally is going to be overextended at that point, no matter what. Johanna doesn't have the mobility that an ETC would have or a Murder would have to help out with that peeling, so you just literally bypass that front line that's so robust with Johanna, and you just focus down on a target. I agree with you. The way Dignitas is playing this is great for how we're going to move into the mid to late game and how they're going to handle that Johanna pick.
Absolutely. And now that we've said that, we have to take a step back and think to ourselves, how is Team Synergy going to deal with that? It's going to be a portal play again. They just want the bear. No! Okay, we're fine.
Nice micro, by the way. Taking Misha, moving near the top, to the bottom, to the left, waiting for the power slide, and then bringing her back to safety. Misha continues the harassment, but there is the turn-in here for actually Synergy as they sneak in the top left, as Misha was able to delay this long enough to prevent Dignitas from securing their own turn-in.
Yeah, very well done. So, now let's see how these web weavers are going to fare as Synergy moving towards the top. Not the easiest little couple to gank for Synergy. I feel like the power is really taken out of the sails for Team Synergy early on in this game, when you've got things like a Brightwing that can support someone at the flick of a switch, when you've got a Medivh that is using Force of Will. It's difficult for them to find any kills early on.
Yeah, I think their main objective is just to get to level 10. You were asking how Johanna deals with the pressure that's coming from Dignitas. The Blessed Shield is the way to do it, but you could also go Falling Sword, which is surprisingly solid. The problem is Dignitas will have too much mobility with the portal being up, but that is an option that does give Johanna a choice. So they are just using their turn-in capabilities that they have right now and the wave clear they have with Johanna to just get to 10 quicker. They've eked out a slight lead with half of a level here just by getting these turrets here from the turn-in. But Dignitas will have a response. They got to make sure they don't allow them to turn in before 10 hits.
Yeah, looking for damage here or there. Now we're going to be later on keeping tracks of where Snitch is with his Master's Touch. And just mounting up before that multi-shot is able to hit him there from Neon. So a hit of a miss there. There's Ice Cream. He's going to come in and reinforce that. They got a lot of damage done on towards this fort, so good starts for Team Synergy.
Yeah, usually it's a really good thing. You don't normally get that unless you have Sylvanas to aid your push, but they did enough here to get half the damage on the fort in the middle, and they also did half the damage on the fort in the bottom right with Rexxar supplementing that push from the Web Weaver. So Synergy getting a lot of value on that first turn-in. JPL goes for the engage, will miss out though. The Force of Will does come in, as well as the root here from Sepka, and that will not be a fight that Dignitas wanted.
And if Rexxar was the go-to for them throughout the entire game plan for this draft, I kind of understand the Leoric ban a little bit more. Leoric's actually really annoying against old Rexxar and Misha. I can't recall, I don't know yet how good Leoric is against new Rexxar when we actually get to that patch, but old Rexxar, yeah, Misha, if you're going a Drain Hope build with Leoric, very annoying for Misha to really do anything, but that's another, this fort will fall, so Team Synergy's doing well.
They get the fort first, they move into Blessed Shield, Sulfura Smash, and Strafe, and just add on that point, the Lurk ban even makes more sense with Johanna too. Just two members here that would have a really hard time against that hero, so nice draft there for Synergy, and it really all comes to sense here after we've seen the draft. Now, Malfurion is holding on to his ult. I do want to know that Rexxar has gone Unleash the Boars, so they now have chase potential in case a portal engage does not occur for Dignitas.
And at level 20, if the game gets that far, oh boy, is that,
juicy.
It's really, really nice. So Team Dignitas does have to be wary. As now, Web Weavers once again for Team Synergy come in because they had level 10. Dignitas did not. It will be Leyline Seal, Blink Heal, Mosh Pit, Draken Laser Drill, and finally I'm assuming ghouls. We shall see in a moment.
We will see. They do have the chance to go Synergoza for the snowball power that you were talking about earlier. The objective here for Synergy is to get the force down, but also to maybe get a kill on one of these warriors. They are holding a hefty amount of points. If Dignitas weathers this storm well, they also could start their own counterattack here with a turn-in. So we'll see if that chance does open up for Synergy. They rotate to the bottom right, Bala alone in the middle, but she can slow down this push here by working in some auto attacks and of course using the multi-shot to demount Dignitas if they're aggressive.
Yep. And for Team Synergy, Leyline Seal only kind of exacerbates the issue when it comes to them wanting to, when Dignitas wants to dive into the backline with portals, because Leyline Seal will keep a few people locked down at the front whilst they dive in. So they're going to go for it right now, in fact. But the roots were perfect there, coming out from Zefka instantly to respond to that. Oh my god, what a great response.
Yeah, the heads-up play from Zefka is enough to keep Synergy in this. They continue the pursuit of pushing down this keep. Twilight Dream has been popped. Zefka keeping all of his teammates nice and healthy. Dignitas, though, does have chase here. Here goes a first portal. They're all chasing in. Another beautiful route here from Zefka.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, I don't mind Tranquility at all, but I'm thinking what would occur if they tried to jump through the backline with a portal, he rooted, and then Twilight Dreamed everybody. It's not going to happen because he doesn't have it in this game, but that would almost shut down Dignitas' attempts at that kind of play entirely. Never mind the root's already doing very well at it.
Yeah, it's definitely the dream to get off that Twilight Dream. The problem is it's so telegraphed that the Malfurion's coming in. And then also, if it does connect, all they do is right-click into the portal. So I see the reasoning behind Malfurion, but gosh, that would be so pretty to see.
Yeah, it would be. But, I mean, already the roots is good, as we were mentioning. So, Misha at the back line, she's going to die. There's no way she... They're not even... Oh, okay, yeah. That was pretty deep for a Misha, but damage on towards JPL here, trying to focus him down with a lot. Leyline Seal is able to save him. Good play by Snitch, portaling on out, getting away without a scratch.
Okay, well, nicely done there. Synergy and team looking for a potential fight because they took out the bear, one of their favorite pets. Unfortunately, Dignitas doing a great job of bringing the Leyline Seal, but Synergy does move up and pushes the top lane once again. Now, Snitch here is sniffing out the 4 members in the top left as the Rexxar will continue his own push in the middle. And I like what Synergy's doing. They're starting a group of us 4, and they know they have Rexxar being here. While he does have Misha, he can soak from a pretty long range, get the experience, and never be in danger of a gank coming his way. As I say that, though, he does get caught in the middle, and caster curse as I get back.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
It's okay, man. It happens.
Yeah, it's actually, it didn't happen too much last week, but you got it this time, so it's all right.
Johanna is being chased here. Will pop Iron Skin, and they're forced to retreat here as they need to wait for the Rexxar.
And there we have Master's Touch complete. So well done, Snitch. What's the bear? What's the fire safety bear in America called?
Smokey the Bear?
Smokey the Bear?
Yeah.
Well, level 13 we have Smokey the Bear. Although he's on fire, all the safety kind of went away from him. He just kind of spontaneously combusted. Sorry, Misha.
Smokey the Bear has gone full evil. He steals your picnic baskets and he starts the fires in the forest.
Smokey the Bear, no! Get off my head! Why are you on fire? But anyway, so Dignitas now is going to be able to put pressure. I swear, I couldn't remember the name. I'm so glad I have an American with me.
That's what I'm here for, man. I watch those commercials all day back in the day on Saturday morning cartoons. Dignitas now continues the push here as they have finally gotten their web weavers turned in, and they are looking for some of their own infrastructure to take out, putting damage on the turrets in the top, but Bakery also guiding a push in the bottom at the same time.
All right, so not doing too badly at all, like really evening things up. Molten Core has been used, trying to get the wave clear more than anything. They just don't want to have damage happen to this front line. This is a great cushion for Team Synergy right now. Keep these alive, make sure that no like weird boss calls later on down the line can just finish the game outright. And Misha at the front, look at her. Double Burning Rage actually is very powerful if those team fights go on for a long time, especially against the Brightwing. It negates a lot of the healing.
Yeah, I agree with you on it. It's small sustained damage that Force of Will doesn't want to be popped for.
Yeah.
So it just slowly, small things start to pick apart the opposing team. So I agree with you. The Double Burning Rage can be wonderful here. Also helps out with that wave clear if Johanna and Misha have to be in a spot to soak a lane. So great pickups for our 2 tanks here, Force Energy, as they continue to be a full level ahead, moving towards level 16. Dignitas does have another turn-in, so that is a major thing that Synergy will keep an eye on for, using their scouting drones, keeping Johanna around the turn-in points. ETC, though, does get a slight sneak in here and will be able to drop off some of his gems.
And I like that our Valorant side of Team Synergy is a big fan of Pokemon at level 13 going Gloom. So that means overall, we can soak up a little bit of that, ability damage whenever you need to. Any kind of ability like that you can just trigger as Misha will fall. That's a sad time. It's always good for Valor here.
And it looks like that slight stop there. The kill on Misha will be able to award Dignitas a turn-in, and they should be able to type the game here. If they're able to get at least one more for it, they'll be in a good spot. Synergy, though, is very close to 16. Their main goal through this entire push of the Web Weavers is to clear and try to soak as much as they can, get 16, and then go for a hard counter-engage afterwards.
All right, so Power of Dream at the front, holding his own. I feel like Power of Dream is... I mean, yeah, we see him on Muradin almost all the time, but I feel like he's a really good Johanna. He almost always, whenever I see him on it, very rarely dies, really doesn't make too many slip-ups at all. She is one of the most sturdy warriors in the game, of course, but...
Yeah. If he would die on Johanna, I would definitely report him after the match. That is definitely a bug that he's exploiting.
You as the commentator, you're just like, actually, that's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. Sorry, guys. We can't recap this match. I have to report the Johanna for dying.
He didn't say anything, but you reported for abusive chat. I'm like, wait a minute.
Tilted me so hard. 16-16 here for our teams, and Dignitas has got a 4. They finally get one here on the bottom push, and they're looking for more possibly in the middle of the map, but Rexar and his pet here, Misha, is preventing that from occurring. Now, does Synergy go for an engage? That's the question, or are they simply going to wait it out and hope that Dignitas missteps?
It feels like the front line's just not going to die in a proper team fight. It's not only like Burning Rage, which is slowly nibbling away at the composition here of Dignitas, but also double imposing presence. So
yeah.
Any auto-attack focus that's going on towards those guys, it's a mute point at that stage.
No, I gotta agree with you. Very hard for Vala to really do much against that. So you really want to target the Brightwing here or kill off the Medivh, which we know are heroes that you have a hard time killing off with that Blink kill, and of course Medivh with his own force of will. Dignitas does turn around, Unleash the Boards does go off. Rexar low on HP. Here's Power for the show-up. This Fierce Match does miss, and Snitch will eat on by here and get out of the fight with that portal, but that was definitely a close pickoff.
Yeah, that was a good escape there for Team Dignitas. But likewise, I mean, Hydra sustaining towards the back with Rexar is okay. It was a nice attempt from them. They're looking to focus down Misha, and she gets turned into a crab for a moment and runs away.
Back and forth is the match here. Finally, Xillia, though, does get caught off. There goes the Army of the Dead, though, so we can pop out some heal here and keep himself in the fight. Leyline Seal does connect with Johanna and Misha. The portal, though, back, and here comes the Bear charging forward. Low on HP is Arthas top left. Xillia is being looked at for pickoff potential, and we do have the Medivh low, but Dignitas does eke on by. These team fights have been crazy, and if you at home have been enjoying them, again, let us know on Twitter. Use the hashtag HGC and tweet us at Heroes Esports.
Well, whilst you were watching the Medivh flee, then you may be wondering, what was that little symbol on Medivh? That's because of the level 7 that Johanna has here. When you use Shield Glare on something, it means that they will be taking a little bit of extra damage, I think it is. Is it from auto attacks, or do you recall?
I believe it's a heal, actually. If you hit the auto attack on it, you get healed up.
You heal. Yeah, okay. All right. It's very rare I actually take that talent, so I can't quite recall, but there you go. So that's what that symbol is from. Covering all our bases here.
Covering all the bases
all
here.
The bases.
Okay, well, the bases are in trouble for Dignitas as the Web Weavers start pushing down top lane. Has not been poked out at all. So it should make it about 3/4 of the way down this lane, which means they could get to the keep wall if there isn't a quick response from Dignitas. They elect to put Brightwing in the top lane, which allows all Synergy to push down the middle lane here. Yep. Rexar starts to push. We'll start hitting that turret and using that Burning Rage to help out a lot.
And Moonfire at level 16 as well for Sevka, so adding extra little bits of damage in here and there. Realizing that I suppose with Tranquility he feels he has enough sustain behind this. Molten Core comes out. Team Synergy now looking to put up pressure. That's a good Howling Blast onto a few members there for the moment, but the front line for Team Synergy will hold strong. Dignitas needs to make a play towards the back line, but they need everyone coordinated to do that.
Gotta agree with you here, and at the same time, Synergy wants to get the keep, and they are doing a solid job of setting themselves up here. This has fallen below at least a quarter health here. Misha does get polymorphed and engaged on with the Howling Blast, but Hydra will help out. There goes the Leyline Seal though, and Rexar is in trouble. There's a mosh pit. Sulfurous Smash comes out. Force of Will was a little too late. JPL low on HP. The Unleash the Hounds go off as well, and Synergy sustains through the damage of Dignitas.
Yeah, the core's taking a bit of damage as well. But all of Team Dignitas' efforts were kind of focused on a Misha, and it's just... It's all good and dandy that you may take that away from your opponents for a little while, but unless you're making plays towards the backline, it's not going to work. So they're going to have to find other paths as level 20 quickly encroaches on the territory here for Team Synergy.
And that level 20 is so close because Synergy also got to keep in the bottom right from the web you're pushing. It was uncontested by Dignitas. Now they have two lanes, the middle and the bottom lane, that will be pushing with Catapult. So Dignitas now has a hefty amount of pressure pushing their way. And Engage, it's getting to the point here where I'm feeling like Dignitas needs to get a hard Engage, but hit a 3 to 4 man mosh pit for this to start working.
Yeah, everything needs to line up for them. Leyline Seal is such a powerful tool. Catch 2, you throw down a portal, everyone goes through, find your pick off there and then. Because otherwise, this is going to continue on in a very, very similar vein. And now even Heroic Difficulty's in, Indestructible is in, and actually not the level 20 Boar talent. We're actually going for what looks like Hardened Shield, is it? So,
yep, it's the Hardened Shield there. And the thing is, Synergy can play the patient game like no other. They have wave clear between Ragnaros, they have stop potential because of Ragnaros, they have the wave clear because of Misha, they also have Johanna. They can literally just wait out this game and wait for Dignitas to make a mistake, while at the same time, Synergy doesn't have to be scared much of anything. All they have to do is just not die right now. They don't have to go for a boss, they don't have to make any crazy misplays. They're in a really good spot right now, and it's because they played the early and mid game so darn well.
Yeah. The power of later picks in draft. Oh, Medivh Cheats comes in as well, so Snitch is going to be looking to redirect that Leyline Seal to catch the prime choices that he wants. Yes. Zoning out at the moment. 120 gems are on the side of Team Dignitas here. They've barely been able to turn in apart from once. They've done a good job of retaining a lot of their gems. I mean, they've only died twice. And they're on to Misha again, but, I mean, it's not what you want.
Yeah, and the problem is you just kind of have to get rid of her, because she can be a major threat with her AoE stun available for her with the Misha charge. So they continue to break her down, but they just don't have the firepower to really take out the Misha. I mean, all they have here is Tychus, who, if you're using your minigun on a Misha, suddenly you don't have the extra tool for the Johanna, which will definitely be the follow-up. And speaking of follow-up, here's Power moving in, cleanse top for Xaylia. He turns around with his engage here. Look on the back line. Here is a bolt from JPL. There goes the mosh pit. Will they connect it? Neon low on HP. Another cleanse here from Sepka to keep him alive. Xaylia will portal away and does stay through. And overall, Synergy is very hefty.
Look, they're all full health. There's nothing that Dignitas has here unless they get towards the other side of this team fight that they can do. And now they're pushed up again. They can't turn in. They're having a very difficult time of actually ever getting something. This is such a good, strong play out of Team Synergy. It doesn't go to the image, you know, when we were talking about how aggressive they were in week 1 against their opponents. This is sturdy, rock solid, and the strongest continual game that we've seen from Team Synergy all tournament so far.
Oh, Snitch getting aggressive here. Will move in, get a nice Q on his opponents. Is it a portal away? He's actually in the back line dealing with Ball at the same time, but the Red Weavers are going to be descending here as Dignitas, with the slight delay from Snitch, will be able to get a turn in. They also have to deal with the pressure in the middle lane already, though, as they have catapults. They have catapults in the bottom, too. So they're trying to just push up their lanes and alleviate all this pressure that's been coming their way.
Yeah.
They're finally here to start making a play.
So the one saving grace that Team Dignitas has is that they have top keep still alive, which means it's not open for like a potential boss play down the line just yet. So that they can just focus their attention on mid and bottom. If it were to be like the only keep that was alive was mid, then they would have to be constantly bouncing between top and mid. Top and bottom, which then is so hard to deal with catapults like that. So at least the two lanes that catapults are pushing on are next to each other.
One core use here for Ice Cream, and this is where it starts to get into the question mark about Synergy that I always have, is like, can they ever close a game if they are ahead? They did well against Beat Genius, but Beat Genius, we would argue, is on their level of skill. Maybe Synergy's a bit better after what we saw last week, but can they end a game against an elite team? And so far, they just haven't made the maneuver to do so. Now, granted, their comp doesn't really allow for them to do that, except for Ragnaros, but I just want to see them actually go for the throat at some point here. If they keep delaying it, Dignitas is an elite team. They will find a way to beat you.
Yeah, and I want to pick your brains about this as well. It's the Team Synergy here with the Valor, penetrating bolts and strafe, of course, which, you know, relies on not being stunned. But I feel they can get away with it because there's been no huge attempts to get on towards the back by Dignitas, because they just can't. So does it feel like they're the right choices here?
Yeah, it feels nice to them. First off, hang on, Misha moves in for the engage. He's getting focused down here. There is also Arcus in the top right. He turns around here. Johanna getting low on HP. Now, Indestructible has not been popped yet. There goes the Leyline Seal. Bala has been caught. Here goes the Mosh Pit right away. Bala does pop out, and they focus down the Bala. Johanna in trouble as well. Malfurion is a power slide on as well. And Dignitas is going for the kill here. Sepka, 2 members taken out. And this is the problem with Synergy, man. They get caught out in the late game, and Dignitas continues the push here. They might go core as they continue to take out the keep. Another portal here onto Rexar Hydra, trying to stay alive, but it's not enough.
Oh no, despite heroic difficulty actually being popped here with the Molten Core, I don't think that'll be enough either to stay the tide that we're seeing here from Dignitas. They broke the back of Synergy as they were so sturdy, so stable, and that is so much damage being done. I think they might just go for core. I think that they have to try and do something now, because this is the best window that Dignitas is going to get to close out this game.
I think I agree with you, and they're going to start pushing in the portal over, try to get away from Ragnaros. He's the main threat. He's the only one that has to clear here. A huge, massive Q here from Ice Cream, but all the front line is tanking these shots. They keep dancing from the left to the right, killing the core. 40%, 30%, 2 seconds until Bala pops, 10% now for the core, and Dignitas turns it around and will take the series 3-0.
I love towards the end that they didn't underestimate Team Synergy there with the portal plays back and forth, back and forth. It was kind of like the entire team was Illidan.
Yeah.
The entire team was jumping from one side of the core to the other and really causing a lot of problems there for Ragnaros. But that last team fight, there was a lot going on during that. Like, unfortunately, Sevka walked into the mosh pit down towards the very bottom. If he hadn't have been in that mosh pit, maybe there could have been a bit more sustain there. But because I don't think he'd popped Storm Shield during it, I'm not 100% sure. But that was, unfortunate there for them. Unfortunate.
Quite the unfortunate moment. Dignitas, again, finding a moment and making it work for them. The instant bolt from JPL into the mosh pit, holding everyone there. The Johanna, no condemn available suddenly because she's too busy dancing. Vala gets focused down. Just great coordinated play as they found an opportunity. And I love that they went for the core rush at that point.
Yes.
It was already hard for them to make that slight play. Synergy was showing up today. Granted, it's a 3-0, but Synergy was here just really trying to show off that they can compete here with the elite teams. And Dignitas realizing that, just taking it one step at a time, going for the core, making sure to do that dance. And kudos to them here as, again, they get put in a scenario now where they're 1-1 in the HEC. They were expected to take this series, and now they can breathe a sigh of relief as they were probably having a hard time here being down 0-1 in the first week of the HEC. If they went 0-2 against Synergy, suddenly that team could be down on themselves.
Yeah. Synergy had good control of, I think, the 3 of the 3 early games, but then, Dignitas shows their class, shows their resilience to be able to push it on continuously throughout those games. And even there in Tomb of the Spider Queen, so down, so almost out, but everything lines up for them to get that great engage towards the end.
Okay, well, we're getting set up here for a Skype call. I believe we're probably going to be talking to Bakery. Bakery's the guy that always has a... Oh, and we're going to talk to Snitchy Poo here.
Oh, no.
With the wonderful green hair. Snitch, can you hear me, my friend?
I can hear you. Hello.
How are you, friend?
Doing good. I'm glad we managed to pull out this series.
Good to hear. So let's just talk about the series. Synergy obviously showed up and was a bit stronger than you guys are probably thinking, but what really worked out for your team to make it where in the mid to late game you guys took control?
I think we were just more confident playing the late game, especially with Midi. We had a lot of vision all the time, so in this last game, it was really easy for us to know where they were going to be. So we were able to make the decisions, whereas they were playing a lot more scared and a lot more cautious. So we kind of just kept rotating our ult cooldowns until we found the engage that we really wanted.
That's actually a good point, which is that throughout that entire game, it felt like their front line was very strong, and you were always just kind of engaging on towards that. What kind of, aside from like you guys just looking for the engage that you want, what's going through your mind at that point? Because you've lost 2 keeps, you've lost a lot of structural integrity, and you're constantly hammering at that front line, but can't seem to find something. So what's going on in the team there?
The comms were very calm. We mostly just knew that they couldn't pay. They couldn't do the boss without us knowing. Like, they had to make an aggressive play and get a kill to really end the game. So we could just play really cautious. We could wait for the portal and the right leyline engage. I really felt like we had to find a good leyline engage to take the fight. So a lot of it was just waiting and trying to wait for them to split or go out of position.
So I have a question about Xaylia. Obviously, your newest member. How is the synergy coming between you guys? It felt like you guys put him on Zeratul game 1, number 2, and let him do his own thing. Are you guys kind of running these weird coordinations that you allow Xaylia to do his own thing, or is he fitting in nicely?
I think Xaylia's fitting in excellently. He works really, really hard. He's got a great attitude. He's very quickly adapting to his new role, and I think, as he showed today, he's really confident to make these plays on his own. Like, I think he's showed that he's a really, really strong mechanical player already, and I think he'll exceed even more as the, as his time with the team develops. And I think with heroes like Valeera coming out as well, I think these are heroes that he can look to make these plays on, and I think he's really, really good at that.
Wait.
I'm excited to see him.
We're getting Valeera? Is that what I'm hearing? You guys are working on the Valeeras? I mean, I'm not asking for strategies, but you're working on the Valeera.
I'm just saying, if there was Valeera in competitive, Xaylia will be playing it, and he'd probably be very good.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Stitch. Congratulations. Any quick shout-outs before we let you go?
Shout-outs to all our sponsors and all of our fans who support us. I hope that we can keep working and not go 0-3 against Misfits again.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. And again, congratulations here on your victory today.
Thank you.
All right, guys, everyone at home, what a fantastic series to start off with. Congratulations to Dignitas going away with a 3-0. But Synergy, guys, keep in it. Synergy, we talked about it already, has a really tough road the next couple of days.
They do, but I think that throughout the year as a whole, throughout the 10 months that the HGC is going to be going on here in Europe, I think that they have a bright future. If this is the foundation that they're building upon here, they've got the early game clearly down. Just build upon that, get the later stages of those games down against the top 3, you would like to call them, and then they could have a bright future here in Europe.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll be setting up for our next game. The Playing Ducks will be taking on the wonderful B Genius. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.